Most of us carry around some form of unresolved trauma, whether we realize it or not. You might think trauma only applies to those who've experienced war, natural disasters, or violent crimes. But the truth is, trauma comes in all shapes and sizes, from childhood neglect to a nasty breakup at any age during your life. The hidden wounds, how unresolved trauma influences your emotional, mental, and physical health. The effects of unresolved trauma are like a game of emotional whack-a-mole. One day you're fine, the next you're sobbing uncontrollably because someone ate the last of your favorite cereal. It's not about the cereal, of course. It's about that time your older sibling always stole your toys, or when your parents forgot to pick you up from soccer practice. These seemingly small incidents can leave lasting impressions on our psyche, shaping how we interact with the world long after they've occurred. The human brain is remarkably adaptable, but sometimes this works against us. In response to trauma, it rewires itself in an attempt to protect us from future harm. It's like your brain decides to upgrade its security system, but instead of just adding a new lock, it builds an impenetrable fortress complete with moat and drawbridge. You might find yourself overreacting to minor stressors, struggling to remember important details, or making impulsive decisions that leave you wondering, what on earth was I thinking? But it's not just our brains that bear the brunt of unresolved trauma. Trauma says, develop chronic pain, and our bodies oblige. It whispers, weaken your immune system, and suddenly we're catching every cold that comes our way. It's a cruel game, and one that can have serious long-term consequences if we don't learn to break the rules. We're talking everything from heart disease and cancer to depression and substance abuse. It's as if trauma decided to play a game. Before you start panicking and Googling how to build a time machine to fix my childhood, just take a deep breath. Understanding how trauma affects us is the first step towards healing. Let's start with the emotional fallout of unresolved trauma. Think of your emotions as a finely tuned orchestra. Trauma comes along like a drunk conductor, waving its baton wildly and throwing the whole performance into chaos. Suddenly, you're experiencing mood swings that would put a roller coaster to shame. You might find yourself quick to anger, prone to anxiety, or sinking into depression. These emotional disruptions can manifest in various ways. You might develop an intense fear of abandonment, clinging to relationships like a barnacle to a ship's hull. Or perhaps you go the other way, pushing people away before they have a chance to hurt you. It's like playing emotional hot potato, except the potato is your feelings and you're the only one playing. Then there's the impact on your mental health. Unresolved trauma can lead to a whole host of mental health issues, from anxiety and depression to post-traumatic stress disorder. It's like trauma decided to open up a store in your mind, and everything's on sale. Anxiety might show up as constant worry, as if your brain has decided to become a professional catastrophizer. Depression could manifest as a persistent feeling of hopelessness, like you're stuck at the bottom of a well with no ladder in sight. Post-traumatic stress disorder might have you reliving traumatic experiences, your mind hitting the replay button on your worst memories without your consent. Trauma doesn't just affect our past, it shapes our present and future. It's not about what happened to you, but how your brain and body continue to react to those experiences. And unresolved trauma can also wreak havoc on your physical health. It's like your body has decided to express your emotional pain in the most literal way possible. Chronic pain is a common physical manifestation of trauma. Your body might decide that the emotional pain you're carrying around isn't enough, so it throws in some backaches or migraines for good measure. It's as if your body is saying, "Oh, you think you're stressed now? Let me show you what stress really feels like." Autoimmune disorders are another potential physical consequence of unresolved trauma. It's like your immune system gets so confused by all the emotional turmoil that it starts attacking your own body. Is this a threat? I'm not sure, but I'm going to fight it anyway, your immune system declares as it wages war on your perfectly innocent thyroid gland. Sleep disturbances are also common among those with unresolved trauma. Your brain might decide that sleep is overrated, and that 3 a.m. is the perfect time to replay every embarrassing moment you've ever experienced. Or maybe you find yourself sleeping too much, your body's way of saying, I can't deal with this. I'm going to hibernate until it all goes away. Digestive issues are another side effect of trauma. Your gut, being the sensitive soul it is, might decide to express your emotional distress through a symphony of gurgling, bloating, and other unpleasant sensations. It's like your stomach is trying to communicate in Morse code, but all it knows how to say is SOS. Even your cardiovascular system isn't safe from the effects of trauma. Chronic stress from unresolved trauma can lead to high blood pressure, increasing your risk of heart disease. It's as if your heart is physically trying to cope with the emotional weight you're carrying. But perhaps one of the most insidious ways that unresolved trauma manifests is in our relationships. Trauma has a way of coloring how we see the world and interact with others. It's like wearing a pair of trauma-tinted glasses. Everything looks a little off, but you don't realize it because you've been wearing them for so long. You might find yourself constantly on edge, waiting for the other shoe to drop in your relationships. Or perhaps you have trouble trusting others, your trauma whispering in your ear that everyone is out to hurt you. You might struggle with intimacy, fear commitment, or find yourself repeating unhealthy patterns in your relationships. It's like your trauma is a backseat driver, constantly trying to grab the wheel and steer you off course. Unresolved trauma can also impact your sense of self. It might leave you feeling unworthy of love or success, as if you're somehow fundamentally flawed. This can lead to self-sabotaging behaviors. You might procrastinate on important tasks, turn down opportunities, or settle for less than you deserve. It's like your trauma has convinced you that you're not the protagonist of your own life story, but a secondary character who doesn't deserve a happy ending. Important tip: recognizing the signs of unresolved trauma in your life is crucial. If you find yourself struggling with persistent emotional, mental, or physical issues, it might be worth exploring whether unresolved trauma is playing a role. So, how do we start addressing this unresolved trauma? And no, it doesn't involve building a time machine or finding a magic wand, though wouldn't that be nice? The first step is acknowledgement. We need to recognize that we're carrying around unresolved trauma. This might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised how many of us are walking around with emotional baggage we don't even realize we have. It's like going on vacation and wondering why your suitcase is so heavy, only to open it and find you've been lugging around a bowling ball the whole time. Once we've acknowledged the trauma, we need to create a safe environment for ourselves to start processing it. This might mean setting boundaries with toxic people in our lives, creating a cozy corner in our home where we feel secure, or even just giving ourselves permission to feel our feelings without judgment. Think of it as creating an emotional hazmat suit. It won't make the toxic stuff go away, but it will protect you while you deal with it. Next, we need to start developing emotional awareness. This involves learning to identify and express our emotions in a healthy way. It's like becoming fluent in a new language, the language of your own feelings. At first, you might only know a few words, but with practice, you'll be composing emotional sonnets in no time. Processing the trauma is the next big step, and it's often where professional help comes in handy. This might involve techniques and other trauma-focused therapies. It's like having a skilled guide to help you navigate the treacherous terrain of your traumatic memories. As we process our trauma, we also need to work on challenging the negative beliefs it's left us with. Trauma has a way of planting some pretty nasty ideas in our heads that we're unlovable, that the world is always dangerous, that we'll never be good enough. Strengths that can help us cope with future challenges. It's like upgrading your emotional immune system. You might still catch the occasional cold, but you'll be better equipped to fight it off. Throughout this process, it's important to practice self-compassion. Healing from trauma is hard work, and we need to be kind to ourselves along the way. Treat yourself with the same compassion you'd show a good friend going through a tough time. It's not about being self-indulgent. This involves recognizing that you're doing the best you can with the tools you have. Healing from trauma isn't a linear process. There will be good days and bad days, steps forward and steps back. It's more like a spiral than a straight line. You might revisit the same issues many times, but each time you do, you're approaching them from a slightly different perspective. As we work on healing our trauma, we might start to notice changes in our emotional, mental, and physical health. The constant anxiety might start to ease, replaced by a growing sense of calm and safety. Our relationships might improve as we learn to trust and connect in healthier ways. We might find ourselves sleeping better, experiencing less physical pain, or feeling more energetic. But perhaps the most profound change is in how we see ourselves and our place in the world. As we heal from our trauma, we start to reclaim our sense of agency and self-worth. We realize that while we can't change what happened to us, we can change how we respond to it. We start to see ourselves not as victims of our past, but as survivors who have the power to shape our future. So if you're carrying around unresolved trauma, and let's face it, most of us are, know that there's hope. It's not about erasing the past or pretending it didn't happen. It's about processing it, learning from it, and using that knowledge to create a better future for yourself. It's about turning your trauma from a life sentence into a life lesson. Reach out for support when you need it, whether that's from friends, family, or professionals. Celebrate your progress no matter how small it might seem. And above all, keep going. Your future self will thank you for it.